Hi everyone, welcome back to Beach Angel Tarot. I am here to do our 2025 Witches read. And if you're new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. It's the words, I can't get the words out. I'm going to try to put a link to this reading in the description below, along with my other holiday readings coming up, Santa at the Sea and my New Year's special. And of course, there are other reading offerings in my shop. If you are interested in other subject areas, you can find them there as well. So let's dive in. Let's start with our holiday energies. And I'm excited. Can't really believe it's Halloween already. I don't know about you, but it feels like we just kind of like fast forwarded and here we are at the holidays again. But anyway, yeah, let's dive in. Let's see what Spirit has. I'm going to start with the Wisdom of the House of Night, and then we're going to dive into the reading with some other oracles and the Trick or Treat oracle to do the reading with. So focusing on everyone, the law of attraction, wisdom of the House of Night, what message this deck has for us for our 2025 Witches read, starting energies. And we have the moon. Ooh, I like it. And I think tomorrow night, I haven't been following the moons, but I just saw on Facebook, I think tomorrow night's like the harvest moon. This is the 5th. Let me just double check here. I'm going to just see. Oh, full moon. I think it's like a super moon or something. Yeah, the full moon is a lunar phase occurring. Okay, I know that's what it is. The moon. Harvest moon. Rare October super moon rise amid shooting stars. Wow, okay. So it's the first super moon. Today's the 5th of October, so tomorrow's the 6th, obviously. And it's the first super moon of 2025. And it's the harvest moon. So interesting. I feel like they're pointing to that. 550 is a change. Fives are changes. So I feel like it's marking this upcoming full moon tomorrow night. And it's kind of weird because I came back here to do readings and I got guided to do this reading. So it's kind of like timely and serendipitous and just kind of like spur of the moment kind of thing, as I wasn't really planning it. But when I sat down here, they were like, do the witches read. And I see a lot of purple. I see like a lavender kind of feel and effect. It feels very, of course, psychic, but it also feels very calm. It feels very peaceful. I get, like I said, a connection to lavender and just that peace and calmness. So it may be bringing a change. This upcoming full moon, this harvest full moon, may be bringing a change in your own awareness and your own sense of peace and calm and serenity. So I like seeing that. It could be bringing changes in other ways as well. But let's add some more in regards, but I feel like they're really pointing to, as a basic straightaway message, there's a change happening with this particular full moon that's coming tomorrow night, I would say, because of this the timing of me doing this reading. So let's see what they have with this. And it's skeleton strength. And so it'll also be adding strength to your energy. So you'll be feeling stronger, having more resolve, more confidence in the things that you're trying to accomplish and do. You could literally be becoming more, more stronger, more strength, having more strength. You could be becoming stronger physically, let's put it that way. Your physical body could be becoming stronger as well. So definitely an interesting combination there. So I'm going to see if I want to do another, let's do a charm here. Let's just pull a charm for our opening energies. Oh my gosh, I'm not kidding. That is so funny. It is the harvest moon. Honest to God, I did not. That is so cool. Okay, so it is the harvest moon, which is not the buck moon. The buck moon's in July, but I think the harvest moon has a bit of that. For me, it has a bit of that kind of vibe to it. I'm gonna pull one more and see. But buck is also a masculine energy. And let me just kind of cover it and then pull another one. And we have apple, which is again something that we harvest. So there's masculine energy with a buck, and I liken that to, like, of course, the fall and hunting and that kind of seasonal energy too. But we have the apple, so the apple represents knowledge, information, can be temptation, but it's also a fruit that we harvest, right? So it's that harvest time for that as well. So very nice opening energies with the charms too. So I'm gonna pull these and set them down here. Let's put them in here so we don't forget. Okay, so we're going to start the reading itself. Okay, so the witch, who you are right now. And I may add some cards to some of these if I get guided. We'll see what happens here. But I may add a Spirit of Darkness and Light card here as well. And we have the Magician. So this is a very good card to get because it talks about, of course, manifesting. It talks about willpower, which is inner strength, right? And it can be that you're having a change of luck, if you will, in regards to your manifestation energy. But this is indicative of who we are at this time, and it is the Magician. So making things happen, not just by mere manifestation and mental powers, which of course are a part of it, but by sheer, inner resolve. You're getting things done in the physical, making things happen, but you're also very mentally sharp, and you're very in tune with your powers of manifestation, your powers of magnetism. And not just that, but of course we liken magicians to having, it's an art form, but it's also very fun to go and watch a magician. They have their little tricks, and you have to kind of wonder how they pulled that off. So there's a bit of that aspect to who we are at this time too. People may be looking at you and wondering how you've done that, how you've pulled that off, something that you've recently accomplished. So you can be being seen in that way as well. But this is who you are, that magical energy. But I'm going to pull from the Spirit of Darkness and Light because I did get guided to this, to add this as well. So let's just see the witch, who you are right now. And I'm really drawn to the clock on here too. And this can be a connection to time too, within who you are. And so a realization of the fact that time isn't linear. It's like all happening in the now moment, and there's only ever the now present moment. So there is a internal presence coming from this as well with me, with the time being drawn into that clock. So who you are right now. And it is, wow, very nice. The female, we have like with a magician, it could be like the witch and the warlock too. So it's the feminine aspect. So the kind of with the magician and that magical feel, it's kind of like the witch, right? So who you are is literally the witch in the combination of these two cards. Receptive, intuitive, and nurturing. So very nice. Very much in your element as, feminine energy coming up. And that's where your power lies, in your feminine nature, in your receptivity, in your openness. And the feminine, of course, receives, and the moon is feminine energy too. So it's all very much showing a strength in that feminine aspect of who we are at this time. So that's coming up as an important factor in how you are creating. So you're creating from that feminine energy. So you're more in that aspect in your way of creation versus the masculine. And the masculine's out there taking action and doing things. And you are sort of like they're out there, creating the harvest, and you're receiving and then creating things from that harvest. So there is a nice balance here too. It's, when I'm reading into that aspect of it, but it's showing that that's where you're drawing your power, your strength is from the moon, the lunar, and the feminine receptivity aspects of the moon. So the owl, wisdom for the witch, something they want us to know this Halloween. We have the Hierophant. Oh gosh, I'm flying. So 5 again, there's a change. There's a change to a higher, I liken, of course, the Hierophants to, yes, factors of right and wrong, but a hierarchy. So there's a change. What they want us to know, straight out message. I'm taking it with the 5 here. So I feel too that this moon, I'm liking it to that energy, is bringing a change in hierarchy. So however that means for you and how it resonates. It could even be how you perceive yourself in relation to other people. Like, do you put people on a pedestal and put yourself energetically beneath them? Do you see things that are like, that's how I'm kind of seeing this message. Do you see things as greater than you and has more power or control over you? There's going to be a change to that way of seeing yourself or perceiving the world around you. That's the kind of feeling that this card is giving me, and that's the message they want you to know, that there's a change coming. So you may internally start seeing yourself in relation to other people differently, seeing yourself as who you truly are. You are the creator being, you're the source, you're not the seeker. So there's an inner strength coming in knowing who you are, literally. And that's changing the hierarchy and then how things are playing out around you. So that's going to begin to change because, again, 5, and it's pointing to this particular moon phase coming up. Is starting that. It may have already started for you, but it's going to bring perhaps a noticeable change as well. And this can be on a 3D level. This can be like maybe you getting a raise. Being given a leadership role within a group you're in. It can be playing out in these aspects too, because there's like a change of that hierarchy of how things are in your life. So, or you could be you could be someone's child, but now becoming someone's parent. You know what I mean? There's a changing the guards, if you will. So now you are a parent, and your parents and grandparents, so there's a shift. You've bumped up a level in wherever this resonates for you. So if you've been wanting to become a mother, it could be that, there's a shift here in that way in everyone's life, and to some degree or to some way that it may resonate for you on an individual level for everyone different that is watching. So keep it in mind in that aspect. There's some sort of change that way. That's going to be happening. So that's what they want you to know around this Halloween, that you're going to see a shift in your position in family or work or groups of people. There's going to be a noticeable shift, I feel, and you're being bumped up one. The costume, how others, okay, that's where we were. This is the one. We were just at, this was the wisdom. They want us to know we're being bumped up. Okay, the costume, how others are seeing us at this time. Who are you to others? I always want to use this one too. I didn't feel the need to add to this, so I didn't, but sometimes I may add a card too. The costume, how others are seeing you at this time. Who are you to others? This I think is this is the Death card. So there's a transitional energy there, but I'm going to pull from Spirit of we have the Gargoyle, Intimidation, Guardian, Protector. So who are you to others? I just want to kind of sit with it for a second, because of course it feels very death, the scorpionic kind of feel to it. Like underworld protector, like I see. It's like a guardian of fear. So a protector of fears. So you're being seen as perhaps a nurturer, somebody that kind of calms and quells fears through chaotic situations or just in general. because I'm getting that sense of like a guardian of, death would of course bring a fear, right? It's the unknown. So a guardian of like the unknown, of the unseen, the things that can kind of cause fear, that can cause uncertainty. So who you are to others, you're somebody that brings in a sense of certainty, in a sense of confidence, that helps them kind of shift their internal perception, and they can feel calmed or nurtured by you. So that's how I'm seeing it. I mean, it could have come up in like a Empress kind of card, but that's the feel I'm getting here. In regards to this combination. So you're being seen as a protector, as a guide, as somebody that helps others through fearful situations and helps them feel not as afraid, right? The candy bag, a sweet treat coming to you before Thanksgiving. And we have 8, adjustment. This is the strength card, and we have the strength card in the beginning. So this is this deck has different cards, different, that's why I was wanting to make sure that was the death card, but it gave me the sense of the message through the visual. But this also talks about a few things to me. It talks about a bit of, with the adjustment, I get a sense of the Judgment card. I also get a sense of the Justice card. And in this deck, 8 may be justice, but of course it also is strength in the regular tarot. So I'm going to liken it to a very strong judicial change, adjustment. Again, it's kind of giving me the sense of the hierarchy feel here, but with a very, not righteous, but kind of. It could be, standing for your own inner truth. But again, everything that you do internally is being reflected to you in a positive way out externally if you're making an internal positive change. So I get a sense here, the sweet treat coming to you before Thanksgiving is there's going to be fairness. There's going to be, I'm getting a strong sense of the Justice card coming from this. And there's going to be a strong, like, righting of wrongs, a vindication kind of feeling, being righted where you may feel like you've been wronged energy. If this has to do with legalities, contracts, you're going to be able to have the law on your side in regards to that, like signing contracts or, finalizing paperwork for a home or signing a new lease or, signing papers to, get a raise or be a boss or something like that, or get a new job. There's a feeling here of paperwork and not finalizing ending, but like finalizing loose ends legally, if you will. So that's going to be the treat for those that are watching in some way, shape, or form in regards to your life. So making something official is kind of more like the words, but in a very strong sense. And with the adjustment kind of feeling of the Justice card, this can be in something that has been going on for a while, or that there is an improvement on. So it could be like in a situation that's already been established, but it returns within more of a fair, balanced energy in a new established way. So there's a sense of that in regards to it. So the treat is fairness, balance, finalizing loose ends legally, something coming to you that is in a more established, fair way. And there's more balance in regards to it. But I'm going to also add another one here, just to add another layer to it. I'm not sure what. Let's use a charm card and see what they have. Sweet treat coming before Thanksgiving. And this one wanted to come out. Birds on a wire, social media. I'm going to pull another one. So for some, this has to do with, it'll come by the way of communication, or it'll like come down the wire, if you will. Could be literally on social media. Maybe you're opening a storefront or something. But it's, to me, talking about communication. You're going to get the information that you needed to finalize something legally or to bring more fairness into an energy. And then we have compass, off course. So that could be the energy of the adjustments, where I felt like something could have been going on and then it comes back around in a new vibe. And then the undercurrent there is in love and romance. So it could have been in a relationship that had gone off course or has gone astray, and it comes back around and there's more balance to it. So everybody's energy in regard to this sweet treat that's coming could be in a different way. It could be with work, but they're showing for maybe a lot that has got to do with love energy. So take it as it resonates. So we're going to move forward. The tombstone, message from your ancestors. Six of Cups. That's kind of funny because Six of Cups is the past. It is a card of remembrance, of soul family, of connection in that way, of childhood memories. So they want you to, of course, think back to, you know, when you were younger, and I'm hearing the word innocence. So innocence, their message to us is a message of innocence, of returning to innocence. It can be seeing the innocence of everyone, you know, the true creator energy behind all of things that are going on, right? The truth aspect of the innocence of everyone initially, right? So I'm going to pull from this deck. No, they're saying this deck. Okay, so let's use the wisdom of the House of Light here. This is another part of the message, but the innocence aspect. And then we have Grove, which I'm going to read from the book. This one I'm not sure what the message is, but let's see. 30 and 21. And it says, Nyx, the goddess of night, invites you to my grove to heal your wounds and mend your heart. So this is a message from the ancestors. Now is the time to apologize to anyone you have harmed. Make your friendships whole again and choose healing over anger and pain. Choosing my beautiful grove is a powerful sign that you are at a wondrous and strong time in your life. Show compassion and kindness to others. No one is perfect yet. Imperfection is perfect as it is. No one is perfect yet. Imperfection is perfect as it is. So it's like, see the perfection in the imperfection is part of their message. If you are hurting, know that it will pass and I will watch over you. If someone you love is hurting, take this time to be there for this person. The sacred grove heals all aches and pains, especially a heart that has been wounded. So that's what they want you to know. They're helping you in situations where things have kind of gone awry, where there has been, you know, misunderstanding, miscommunication, bringing back to innocence. But they're also saying, see the perfection in an imperfection. See everything to your advantage as perfect, happening perfectly, unfolding perfectly, even if it appears to be gone awry, they're saying. If you continually to put the spin on it and the assumption that it's creating a perfect outcome for you, it will evolve and unfold that way. So it's to continually see the perfection in the imperfection is an important message. But they're also helping with you know, relationships and things that are dear to your heart that are you know, has been troubling you. So there's going to be like a made amends, whole friendships, that kind of thing. And you can start the ball rolling with that kind of thing with the internal, with the Ho'oponopono prayer. That is a good way to start that internal dialogue if you're having issues with someone. Just working with that energy within yourself can start creating change with those that you're having difficulties with in 3D. So that's something to think about too, but they're helping with this kind of process. So that's a beautiful message from the ancestors. The pumpkin, how to be more creative this fall. The Tower of Destruction. it's like don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't have fear. Yeah, it's kind of like how to be more creative is don't get hung up on the process or get into fears in your head around making a mistake in regards to your creative endeavors. That can kind of kill the creative flow, right? Starting to put a thought process or overthinking, like you want to release overthinking around creativity and not allow yourself to get kind of hung up on being wrong in regards to something that you're creating. So that is the message on how to become more creative this fall. The Black Cat, will you be lucky? And we have the Moon again. So it's funny because since we started out with the Moon, I want to say that this is an indicative of a yes. And it's going to be in the area of this actual moon ushering in more luck for us. And again, it's got the sense of, intuition, feminine energy, your own inner knowing. So you're going to be lucky, perhaps due to your psychic abilities becoming stronger, and then you realizing things more easily and understanding and seeing things psychically quicker or faster, or interpreting them quicker is going to help with your luck this year. But I get a sense of it indicating again a connection to that full moon. So I'm going to say yes to that, and then the full moon that's happening tomorrow is going to be ushering in more of a positive, lucky streak, if you will. The Moon, a message about your psychic abilities, which is kind of interesting. It's too many. And we have Ace one. So there's a fueling of them, and it's like a new beginning with the aces. Aces are yeses and positivity, but I see a new energy, as you can see with this. Fire sign or fire sign time frames can be important around your psychic abilities, but definitely working with them is going to help amplify. There's an amplification kind of feeling. There's a fueling, there's a passion around the psychic abilities. And also, you may want to use candles or do candle work or something in regards to them as well. Candle gazing, flame gazing, that kind of thing could be something that you can kind of focus in on with your clairvoyance. But also, I'm getting just a straight away, yes, there's more positivity. There's more like an amplification of your abilities coming up. The Cauldron, your love life. What is being created in the heart chakra cauldron? Six of Pentacles. So there's the sense of reciprocity here with the love life. And I'm going to add one from the love life oracle that I like to use in the love life placement. But this is a card of generosity, of reciprocity, of balance again. So a good flow of give and take, fairness and distribution of energies, being on the same page, that is important, of course. But we're going to add a straightaway love message here in regards to it. And it is love language, quality time. Be the witness to each other's lives. So again, there's that sense of balance. Learning more about love language and exchange, because this talks about exchange too. So there is an understanding, if you will, kind of coming into the energy there. Boo, a surprise, the unexpected. We have Ace of Swords. So it's a new beginning too. Let's see, beginnings and endings are always happening every second, every moment, right? So we're going to elaborate a little more. What is a new unexpected energy in? This, of course, the mind is the swords, the thoughts, a new way of thinking. In regards to, oh, that's interesting. Spirit of the book, new chapter, development, unfinished business. So this is, the sword too can be like something that comes in and breaks. It's like a breakthrough type of energy on, you know, old unfinished business. So maybe there's projects that you haven't finished and you're going to get like the inspiration or the thought or the idea to finish something that you started in the past. If you've been reading a book that you haven't finished, you may do that. I don't see that as a big surprise though. So I see this more as like new information, new inspiration, something new coming in, entering into your awareness. That helps you create a new beginning, a new chapter in something that may have had some unfinished business. And this is going to be a surprise because you may think that's in the past, it's over, you know, I shut the book on that, and then something new springs in, because the Ace of Swords can be seen as that like some new inspiration pops into your awareness that you weren't thinking that was going to happen. It wasn't going to occur, right? So that is the message. And let's do some charms to end the reading. So that was the last one. And they're wanting me to do, I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to do a blessing to add to the surprise energy. I'm going to do a blessing card. So back to this. A bit of surprise, the unexpected, the blessing. Let's see what they want to say. This could be about it, and a blessing for a peace of mind. Oh, and I was saying that. Okay, so it was this energy. I was say, what was I saying? I thought that felt this calm, the peaceful, and it's got to do with feeling more peaceful, maybe about an old chapter, because it can begin again in a new sense, a new development around it. But you're going to be feeling more peaceful. Your thoughts in general are going to be calmer, you know, less negative internal dialogue, that kind of thing. But there may be a little situation that you're going to be feeling more peace around and calm around. But they're kind of ending where they began, which I like to see that because it kind of comes full circle, right? I like to see it all kind of beginning and end, alpha and omega kind of feeling with the reading. I like that. So let's do the charms now. I can continue on. We have dragonfly summer. So as a symbol, we may see dragonflies. Summer's behind us, right? And I'm getting memories, which funny memories behind us. And then we have development. So, a development on past memories, or a development on something from the past is what I'm getting from these. But these can all just be literal symbols of like a camera or pictures, the dragonfly and a butterfly, if you're just looking for signs or symbols through this Halloween season. But anyway, angel blessings to everyone. Oceans of love. Happy Halloween. And yeah, see you soon. Big hugs.